You're talented, driven, and able to change the world with your two thumbs. You're trendsetters, thought leaders, strong learners, and loyal to your cause. You're misunderstood, mishandled, and often invisible. But you're determined to stand up, stand out, and be counted. You're young, powerful, and fluent in today's culture no matter where you live in the world. Yeah, you're young, you're impressive, and you just need caring guidance, a listening ear, and real people who don't try to change you because they think you're not good enough. Welcome to the Young and Impressive program, where we cover pressing, real-life issues for the young and the young at heart. With your hosts and new best friends, you can even call us your uncles, Justin and Dave. And again, welcome to the Young and Impressive program. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, y'all are young. You are impressive. And this is your program, man. And my name is L. David Harris. You can call me Uncle Dave. And my man who's running alongside me, we've been running together for 40 years. Can you imagine?
Boom.
I know we look strong and young if y'all seen the pictures, but yeah, we've been at it for a little while, man.
Yeah. And it's work.
Yeah.
It's work.
Yeah. Real talk.
Yeah,
So
nothing
my man
worth
Justin
having
Reed.
is easy.
Yeah, man, y'all caught me drinking my water, but it's all right. I hope I don't burp while I'm talking because I needed some water, Just.
Yo, I get it, man. I get it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, when we go in, I found myself having a cough or swallow
Yeah.
or something. And I'm like,
Swallow.
but
Yeah.
I'm so deep in I want to get it out.
Yeah.
But yo, let me pause for a moment and just talk about that intro. You
Yeah.
talk about impressive.
You like that?
That beat is fire, Dave.
Is it ever? Oh my.
Yo.
Yeah.
Big ups.
Royalty free, baby. Yeah, you got to know where to get them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So welcome to those of you joining us for the very first time. That's my radio voice. Yeah. This is the Young and Impressive program. My name is L. David Harris. And that is Justin Reed, my man, my mellow. Y'all can call us Uncle Dave, Uncle Just, Uncle Dave, whatever way you want to do it. Just don't call us out our name because that's disrespectful.
Don't do it.
It's disrespectful. It ain't right. And I'd like to welcome you to the Young and Impressive website, youngandimpressive.com, where you can leave your voice note or type in your question or comment. And if you've chosen to do the voice, we're going to put your voice on the program. Just don't say any bad words because I don't have time to bleep it out. I will not use it. Please don't do it.
We're just going to delete the whole thing.
Yeah, delete the whole thing. We're going to delete the whole thing. So don't do it. We like authentic, we like organic, but, have a little bit of respect for the program and the airwaves. And we're looking forward to hearing from you. Any subject, just say what you got to say, ask us a question, and we'll do our best to answer, right?
Give the people what they want.
There you go. Get the people what they want. Yeah, man. So how things over there, man?
It's good, man. Can't complain. Truly blessed beyond measure. And just glad to be here running with you, like you said. Many years in the making. So glad that this could be the medium where we connect and get it done.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
True indeed. Well, listen, man, I'm not stupid. School is just boring.
What? Wait, say that again?
I'm not stupid. School is boring.
Oh, so you in my head now. That's what you're saying.
I guess.
I'm just saying I can relate.
Yeah. Yeah. Because real talk, listen, man, I'm not trying to disrespect formal education because I wouldn't do that. I worked 15 years in higher ed, right? In academic administration, no less, from one of the universities that I dropped out of, by the way. I said one of the universities that I dropped out of.
AKA multiple.
Habit. It was a habit. Like, I don't want to be here no more. I'm going to go to barber. I'm going to go to barber unit. I'm going to go to barber college. Did that, went back to school, dropped out again, kind of thing. Yeah. I'm not glorifying it. It's just what it is, man.
You're trying to find yourself though, right?
Trying to find, it's just like school is boring. Like, I had that thought from grade 1 right up, bro. And in barber school, I shouldn't say this, man, but in barber college, like, I was already a barber like for years before, but I had to formalize the thing. Mm-hmm. So like, I skipped 6 months of school, bro. I didn't even show up. Like, they just cared. Like, are you going to pay the bill? Yes.
Yeah.
You're already nice? Yes.
Right.
You're already working every day? Yes. I'm supposed to be an apprentice, but my man isn't turning in the paperwork. So I'm going to come in here and do bare minimum and get up out of here.
Yeah.
That is not good, but that's what I did, bro.
Hey, a lot of cats did that. I mean, I got a homeboy right now. My man, he's it's funny you should say it because I cut and my man cuts, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go to barber school so I could be official, right?" Yeah. And I'm like, "Man, I'm not doing it. I'm not." And then he's nice, yo. He could cut.
Yeah,
he's nice.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to barber school. I'm like, nah. Nope, I'm not doing it.
Ain't got no time for that.
Nah. Mad props to him though, because he was nice before, but he's getting real nice now. Really got me thinking like, wow, maybe I should, You
got a little bit of time now, bro.
Yeah.
So and I know you're still busy, but it's a different kind of busy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But really and truly, there are a lot of young people out there, a lot of youths out there, and younger even for that matter, children who may be listening. Like I have on, another program, I got little bitty kids coming, like 9 and 10-year-olds, right? And you may be thinking like, I'm tired, like the teacher's constantly on my back, like telling me, like in my day, it was like, apply yourself. And I'm like, what the world does apply yourself mean, right?
Yeah.
Like the only thing I didn't really, like I was fearful of in terms of school was like parent teacher conference where they would tell them that I wasn't doing my work, but it wasn't until, like I knew what was going on, but we grew up, just in a time and a culture where there was really like, there was no discussion about what's going wrong. It was just like, get it done.
Right.
And, it wasn't until like, I was already in my career, and it wasn't my first career, bro, in academic administration, that I actually saw indications about my record. At one of those times that they like were about to kick me out of school because of academics, that I had a professor, and I'm gonna put him out there. His name is Christopher Litton, and Chris Litton, English professor, he was like, this student is bored. How many words is that? This student is bored. That's 4 words.
Right.
And that was the key. Like I knew I was bored, but you can't tell the people that keep pressuring you from grade 1 right up through second and a half year of university. You can't tell them that, because it's like, well, what happened to the rest of these people?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Why are they thriving? And it's like, well, I don't know, but this is really putting me to sleep, and I cannot stand school. I cannot stand studying. It's a pain in the rear, man. So I'm just done with it. Like I can't manage. Let's show me where to get the money at, because that stuff y'all teaching me is not going to earn me nothing.
Right, and you can't see the goal line either.
Nah, they keep moving it. It's like, what happened?
Yeah.
And so for real, this is really just a way for, if you're all younger than us and you had that feeling, it's a way for us to reach across the line and say, true indeed, like we know you're not stupid. That's not even the issue. For me, it was that school was boring. And, when I was a young boy, I'm talking about elementary school now, there were problems in my house. And when you got problems in your house, your parents are at each other's heads. In my case, my parents and my sister now. So it's a 3-way war. She wasn't warring with me. Right. We were cool, but the parents and my sister, like it just wasn't, it was not nice in the house, man. So all of that stuff impacts everything in life, including school. Right.
Yeah. I mean, you brought up something, when you talk about, I'm bored, I think you have to open the aperture to more than just the classroom environment. So by you talking about your home environment, right? So you got, let's just take, the young brother that's we'll just make him 15 or 16, right?
All right.
So he's things at home are okay, right? I don't know that there's a perfect scenario at home, right? We all have stressors and distractions. Then he goes to school, got a nice young lady that he's digging. Maybe things are going well, but he would much rather spend time with her than in the classroom. So the bell rings, right? In between classes, they're trying to meet at the locker
Mm-hmm.
for a few minutes, right?
Yeah.
And then after school, maybe he plays sports. So he got that. Then he wants to see his girl again. And then ultimately, he got to go home and try to do some homework after all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So when you think about being bored, when you start to put all those things in the context of priorities,
Mm-hmm.
right? So priority number one for a young adolescent male is probably the young lady. Right?
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Yeah. So that's number
what else
one,
is there?
right? I want to see her,
Right.
and she wants to see him,
Right.
right? So that's I don't know how much information the human brain can process at one time, but I know that if we're capable of processing 3,000 things per minute, if there's a young lady involved, that means 2,999 things are not getting processed.
Used up. It's gone. It's gone. We have no more bandwidth. It's all over.
Right. Your Wi-Fi signal, your capacity to put information through the pipe is seriously diminished.
Goodbye.
Because of her.
Yeah.
Right. And then you got sports, right? Because sports is a lot more interesting than classwork, right? Or book work, schoolwork, however you want to phrase it. Right. So then you got sports. Then you got home, right? Because home is mandatory, right? It seems like school, now at priority number 4 or 5 ends up being the least important thing in the hierarchy of things that I need to get done.
Right.
Right. And you throw on top of it that it's not very interesting.
Right.
Right.
And there's no diss to the teachers. Like I'm I'm a trainer, teacher, all kind of stuff. But I get it. Like sometimes they're just not feeling what we saying, man.
Right. So how do you combat that? What do they need?
I'm not going to put it on a priority list because there's always a better first. But one of the first things that we have to realize is that there's almost always an underlying factor. Mm-hmm. So the youth, I don't know how you get older people to listen to you, but you got to do your best and say, you know what? I mean, no disrespect, teacher, mommy, daddy. I mean, no disrespect, uncle, guidance counselor. But I'm not getting this because either I'm super busy with life outside of school. And I know that a lot of, older people wouldn't see that as an acceptable reality, but you just have to beg them to listen to you. I got my little sister and I got to take care of her because my dad is at work. My mom is in another country right now and I got to make sure she eats. And that's sucking up my brain space and I just can't manage. So I got to focus on that. Or, you're in a higher financial class than a lot of the people that maybe Justin and I are, grew up with, where, keeping up with the affluence in your neighborhood is a big deal. You're in high school. Your homegirl just got on her Sweet 16. She got a Beamer. And your Sweet 16 is coming up next. And it's like your peoples really want to give you a Benz, but because you did something last year that they didn't approve of, they're threatening to give you a Honda. And that's stressing you out. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because I've seen that in the upper echelons where they really really and truly get bent out of shape. Yo, my peoples are really gonna diss me. You couldn't have got the M5. You got me a 328. How did you do that to me? It doesn't register to me, but people who have a little bit of money and live in that culture, it's it's a problem. Mm-hmm. So how does that impact school? Right.
Yeah, now you don't even want to go. You don't even want to show up in the 3 Series.
Nah, dude, you don't want to show up. You don't want to show up pushing a Honda if you're in that kind of thought process. We're in grade, at that point, going into grade 11 and you showing up, nah, I can't do it. Right. And the teacher doesn't get it, but it's your reality. Mm-hmm. So you have to be forthright and upfront and know that, it may sound ridiculous to somebody who's older, but you have to beg them to listen and say, this is impacting me. Or God forbid, boy or girl, somebody is harassing you at school.
Oh,
Y'all
man.
can figure that out.
Oh, man.
Somebody's bullying or harassing you or doing stuff that you're not welcoming. And now you don't want to be seen as a snitch, or in my culture here, an informer.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to tell, but you don't feel like you can tell.
Or you don't want to be a sucker.
You don't want to be a sucker. So meanwhile, you are, it's time for grading again. And your grades are showing that something's not going right. And you want the people to realize you're not stupid, but at the same time, you can't tell them in your own thought process. You can't tell them there are boys, there are girls, maybe there's a teacher, God forbid, or somebody else who are advancing toward me in ways that I'm not cool with, but I don't know what to do about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what I'm really hearing is that our folks, the young people, our audience here, they have a requirement then to engage with their teachers, right? The faculty, the staff, because the thing is, these teachers, you're in most high school scenarios, you rotate classes around the teachers. So, your English teacher, chemistry, math, whatever it might be, Mr. Jones, he sees, 20 to 30 kids for 45 minutes to an hour and 15, let's just say, for 8 periods a day or 6 periods a day, which means he doesn't know what you're struggling with unless you tell him. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the majority of the teachers really do care, right? There's some bad ones out there, but we're going to, like when you do most percentage work, there's a part you just skim like the first 10 to 20 right off the top.
Yeah,
right?
that's the margin of error.
Yeah, so we throw those out. So that leaves 80% of the teachers that's left really do care, but they don't have time to come to you because you're one of, 3, 6, 9, 12. You're one of 150 students they see per day, every day. And maybe they don't even see you every day. Like the high school that my son and daughter graduated from here in Maryland, they have a A day and a B day.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that means they have math every other day. But that math teacher teaches math every day. So that if Austin or Lauren saw them on Monday, they wouldn't see him again until Wednesday.
Right.
And so how is that teacher supposed to keep up with Austin or Lauren, being bored, right? Or struggling. Right. They're not stupid, but the teacher doesn't know. Teacher doesn't know what the issue is, right?
Yeah.
And so you guys have to go to the teacher, to the administrator, to whatever, mom and dad, older brother, sister, just say, listen, I'm not dumb, right? But I'm not getting it. Or
right.
I'm trying to get it, but this is not grabbing me at all. It's just not, it's not sticking. I'm falling asleep in here, and I'm not saying that the teacher needs to dance on their head, to keep you entertained.
There's a level of discipline. Right.
Yeah. But, just by letting them know, hey, Mr. Jones, your monotone voice for 45 minutes is killing me, and I'm not being, I'm not being literal, fellas.
Oh gosh.
I'm not, but we've been there. Now, one thing I will say too, that's really interesting is I remember, in the military, in the Navy in particular, we get evaluated every year, right? And you get an evaluation sheet. So consider that, a report card.
Okay.
And I have one, Dave. I've held on to this thing since like 1992. Wow. I still have it because what it says, and this is really summarizes, I would say yours and mine, our high school careers. It says I was a seaman apprentice at the time.
Oh yeah, that title
E2.
You love, or that rank you love. E2 at that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, seaman. Yeah, okay.
Young. And it says that seaman apprentice Reed, his performance is sporadic. And I was like, I was like, wow. I was
Just
like,
say it like that.
Yeah, I was like, what is he trying to say? Right. So when we sat down, because you read it, right?
Yeah.
And then you sit down with, in my case, it was a chief. You sit down with the chief, and he goes over.
Wait, you sat down with the chief?
Yeah.
To do this?
Yeah. So you read it, and then you look at him, and he says, you know, do you have any questions?
Oh.
And truthfully, like I wasn't being a wise guy. You know, I want to say something else in Navy terminology.
Thank you.
Right. I wasn't being a wise guy, but I was like, what are you saying? I was like, I don't really understand. And he was like, listen, he's like, Seaman Reed, he was like, you have shown flashes of brilliance. Like,
okay.
He's like, you could be, like, he kept talking about potential and da-da-da-da. It made me feel real good. Right. Then he brings the hammer down. He was like, listen, in the military and corporate America, the word potential is a killer. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, if you ever read anything, and it's this way, he was giving me life lessons. This wasn't even military Navy talk at this point. He was just giving me life lessons.
It was free.
Yeah. He was like, if you read something evaluating you and it says potential, that means they see something in you, but you're not getting it done.
And it's almost like opportunity. It's like that opportunity word, like opportunity.
Yeah. Like you know, unless it says, you know, Justin Reed or David Harris is maximizing his potential. Like, boom, okay, right. then that's good. But if it says, you know, Seaman Reed has the potential to be great one day.
Yeah.
That means you're not great today.
Today is not the day at this moment in time. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that, you know, when you think about the fact that, you know, you're not dumb, you're just bored. But there's a requirement placed on you to still get things done. You still have a requirement to perform. And that's what I found in the Navy was, you know, I could have been great so much earlier than I was. You know, I think I had a successful career, but when I look back on it, like, man, I peaked late. You know? And if I look at, you know, I tell my kids all the time, like, you see what we have now and you think, wow, Dad, you know, you really did good in the Navy and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, and I'm like, man, we could have had this 10 years before we had it.
Yeah.
You know, but I was bored. Yeah. I was just going through because I had the capacity to get it done without working hard. And I know this is your point. I hate to steal your thunder.
No, I'm good.
I had the capacity to get it done early on and I didn't.
Yeah.
But because I did, things just kind of came easy.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, all right, I got
That's the hazard, though.
Yeah.
That's the hazard of the thing. Like when you can hack the process a little bit, you can't fully hack it, but you can hack it enough to kind of get by with a little shine here and there. Right. Yeah. That's kind of the issue. Like, how did you get this far? Well, shh, don't tell nobody because they'll try to do it and fail.
And it's so dangerous, Dave. It's so dangerous. The guy or the girl that doesn't have to work. Like I really felt like my 50% was most people's 80 to 90%.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And here's a plug for a future program. Okay. And we haven't titled it yet for the listening audience. This is just one, just know we're going to hit on one day. My wife, man, she's the one that brought all that potential out. She was like, oh, this was after we married. She's like, so what is the most that you could be doing in the Navy? Like, what's the highest rank you could achieve? And I was like, oh, that's an admiral. And she's like, okay, how do you become an admiral? And I was like, oh, well, I'm enlisted, so I can't be an admiral. She said, so you can't go from enlisted to officer? I was like, oh, I can.
Oh, yeah. But there's this one obstacle.
Well, no. Well, check it. I was like, yeah, you can. And she said, well, how do you do that? I said, you got to apply for officer program. And I said, but I've been I'm doing well. And listen, she's like, no, you're not hearing me. She's like, if admiral is the pinnacle, why are you not striving to be an admiral?
Damn.
And I was like, I didn't know my wife carried around bricks to hit me in the face with.
Yeah.
Because that one, I was like, man.
She's like, what happened? And you thought you was shining? You thought you was shining, bro?
Dave, I got commissioned as an officer in less than a year after she and I got married.
And you didn't do university.
Nah, man. It was based on my
so
record.
You really came up from the bottom for real in terms of military talk, I'm saying, in the US.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. E1 to
Came in
O1.
as a young boy coming in because somebody told you got to go in there or else something else. And you really climbed the ranks.
Yeah. But I didn't do it. I didn't do it because I was so driven.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I said this at my retirement ceremony. I said, everything I achieved, I never achieved because I was just such a driven type dude. You know what I mean?
Oh, boy. Yeah.
It really, a lot of it was one that, you know, my father and my grandfather were like, listen, you're a Reed, okay? Reeds work hard, we don't fail. But then, you know, I would say even more importantly is I married someone who made me so much better. You know what I mean? She took those words potential and sporadic and was like, okay, I don't do potential and I don't do sporadic. Like, if you're going to be with me, you're going to be great. That's what I said. We're going to hit that one on another episode.
Like, I can see Adrian on that, dog. Like, I can see it.
But it wasn't like, it wasn't verbal. You know what I mean? She was just we having a conversation and she's like, I don't know anything about the military. She's like, so what's the highest rank in the military? I said, Admiral.
So why you not that yet?
Exactly.
So what happened?
She got me, B. She got me.
What you mean by what happened? You don't apply for that. Like, we don't talk about what happened. Nothing happened.
And the truth is, just like you said, I wasn't stupid. I was bored.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was just coasting through the military, thinking, okay, I'm doing good in the enlisted ranks. Really wasn't thinking about being an officer. Had no desire, no drive.
Yeah.
I was like, because I could do this. And then I found that one, man. She was like, oh, so why aren't you an admiral?
So here's a good point right here. I know that every branch of the military, and for those of you who don't know nothing about the military, I'm about to break this little piece down for you. So what Justin is telling us is something that I talked to some of the younger ones who are considering military in the US, in one branch of the military, they call what you do an MOS, right? Yep. Like, what is it that you do while you are in the military? And what I say to those people, now you got it after the fact with your wife, right? To kind of blow and Lord bless you, you had, what you did in the military was a little bit more sort of marketable than a lot of people. Like, I know people that implode like ordnance.
Right.
Like, that's what they do in the military. Yeah. Fix tanks, that kind of thing. Like, I'm talking about real people I know.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, so MOS, so this is what you're going to do while you're in the military. And I'm like, okay, you're about to go in. Do not let that recruiter just tell you to do any and anything, because at some point you're going to want to get out of the military. Mm-hmm. So if you're in school, you have to think, okay, well, what do I want to do with my life once this is all over? So don't pick a thing that's only going to just kind of get you by. Like, don't do general studies if you're in university. Right. Like, don't do that just so you can get the degree, because really and truly, you're going to have to turn up anyway after you're done. And I know people who've done it and done it well. I got it. But the work level of, going from line cook, you're a cook in the military, which good. I mean, people got to eat.
Yeah.
Like, but don't just do that because it's in your mind the easiest thing to do. Right. Like pick something that if the Lord bless you, Lord spares your life, over time, you can continue to get proficiency in. And when you come out, you can work in the private sector. You can instruct people. Like the dude that killed bin Laden. This dude, they put his name out there. So now he's out there. Right. He can't hide, the Navy SEAL, right? Mm-hmm. The dude came out right before retirement, bro. And you know what happens when you come out right before retirement, right? Like, the dude's not getting retirement. Nah. Like, the money's done. Like, he's not getting what he's due, bro. Right.
Because he didn't.
I guess if he went to school, maybe he could get, education benefits, but he's not getting like retirement benefits.
Right. Like I collect a retirement check every month.
Yeah. Well, he's not. Yeah. Right. So it's like, now what? Mm-hmm. So if you're in that extreme situation, you come out, God forbid, dishonorably discharged, God forbid, you come out early for whatever your other reasons are, you're honorably out, but now you don't have any portable, if you want to call it, or transferable skills. It's like, oh my goodness, what happened? So that's the same thing when it comes on to school. Like, don't just eke by, because at some point you're going to need to eat. Right. You're going to need to have a family if you're into that. If not, you're going to need clothing. Mm-hmm. You're going to need shelter. Right. So don't lowball your life and say, all right, well, I'm going to just do the bare minimum, because at some point, bare minimum is what you're going to get on the other end.
Yeah. Right.
That's costly.
And you didn't do bare minimum when you called Shorty and asked her for her Snap or Instagram or phone number. You didn't go bare minimum. Right.
You did the most.
You was like, yo, she's the baddest thing walking around. That's going to be me. So the other thing I'll say is, if she's not encouraging you to be your best, she ain't the one, man. I don't care what she look like, what car she drive, who she roll with. If she's not encouraging you to be,
bye-bye.
Yeah. Peace out.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think really and truly, just like, a lot of the people listening have already identified with this idea that school is just not for me. Like my son right now, he's in 3rd grade. True, we're in Jamaica. But he's in 3rd grade. They're teaching penmanship. And I'm like, dude, I remember when we stopped doing that.
Yep.
And I'm talking about in the 80s.
Yeah.
We stopped penmanship in the 80s, bro, because we had to start typing stuff on the typewriter. Right. And they're teaching penmanship. And I'm like, for what purpose? Right. Yep. But if you're in class and you're learning something that you've already determined that will be useless to you when you get out of school, you have to say the purpose is discipline.
Ooh.
The purpose is doing something that you don't want to do so that you can do what you want to do later. Do what you need to do so you can do what you want to do later.
Yep.
You feel me? So it's not always that, there's a 1-to-1 correlation, especially in this generation. You think that, like, if I'm doing this, like, then this is what the outcome is. Well, it doesn't always translate that way.
Right.
Sometimes you got to do stuff just for discipline's sake. Yeah.
That can't be overstated, but I know we're out of time. We're gonna go head on in this topic about doing it for the sake of doing it in another episode.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give you one last scenario. So, there was a woman who came from another country when I lived in the States, right? Who was in the nursing program. And I remember her saying, because there was one class two classes in particular that would kick their behinds. And she was like, I cannot wait to get out of here. And I'm like, really? Why? Because I had to do with graduation and grades and, evaluations of transcripts and all kinds of stuff. Right. I can't wait to get out of here. Well, why? Why you can't wait? She said, because when I get into the workplace, I could do what I want to do. And I laughed her to scorn, bro. Mm. I was like, that's what you think? And this is a grown woman, bro. Like, she was older than me. But in her mind, she felt like the professors kind of had her dangling on a chain, like, you do this exactly as I say, and that's the way it's going to be. And I'm like, wow, I'm having to tell this grown, mature woman that's just training for real life. Like, this is a big grown woman, bro. Yeah. Yeah. And she thought she could just do whatever when she got her nursing degree, bro. Yeah. And I'm like, oh my. Yeah. So don't think that y'all just going to, even if you do have your own business and you look at people that are entrepreneurs. I'm an entrepreneur, but I tell you one thing, as much as I'm an entrepreneur, that means I have 50 bosses.
Right.
Because if it don't all come together, I'm calling just for a loan. Like I got 50 bosses. I don't have one boss.
Right. And the demand signal is real high when you work for yourself.
Yeah. So just know that life is what it is. If you're bored, if you have something going on at home, tell somebody, ask them for help, beg them for help. Tell them it's not just that whatever. Tell them you don't even understand what's going on, but you need some help. Yeah. And ask them, say some guy on the radio said that you need to invest in me and I need your help.
Right.
And pretty much you'll get some help. And just be patient with the process and you'll be good to go.
Yeah.
Word up.
Word.
Yeah, holla at y'all next time. Thanks for joining us. Y'all be good. Peace.
There you have it, y'all. Being young and impressive is about plotting your own course, but doing so wisely and with a multitude of great counselors. Never allow life to just happen to you. Take the bull by the horns, pray much, and win at school. Win in your career goals. Win in your approach to adversity. Win in your relationships. And most of all, win in your relationship with God. After all, you're young and impressive. So be that, young and impressive in this generation. We're counting on you because we need you. Until next time, peace.